Towers. I am a PhD student in the Sociological Studies department here at the University of Sheffield. I think it's because actually death is the only unifying experience for us. It's the one inevitable part of life. After we're born, at some point we will die. And I think actually because of that, it kind of binds people together. So in general in academia, death is still quite a niche topic. There's not that many people studying it. That does vary by discipline though. So for example, it's studied more within medicine and within psychology. Although there's a difference between the focus. So within medicine, understandably, it's much more about palliative care, end-of-life services, things like that. Within psychology, there's much more of a focus on grief and counselling and therapy and that kind of focus. But bereavement as kind of a lifelong experience is this, how do people manage it over the life course, certainly gets much less of a focus. Again, that is growing, so there is more interest, there's more people studying it, but in terms of the kind of wider academic spheres, death is still very much on the fringes of kind of what people are looking at. The realisation that we have these kind of normative understandings of when people should die and in what order and how. So if you are a 15-year-old who's lost a parent, that's tragic and that's awful and people don't necessarily know how to respond to it. Whereas if you're 50 and your parent dies, that's kind of, it's a bit more expected, it's kind of what's meant to happen. It's like people talk about the order of things. So I think it definitely, responses to death vary depending on how old people are, because of those experiences and because of those expectations.